Hello StarCraft fans, I've been sent another couple of matches worth of replays, so without further ado, let's get into this. This is game one of PottyPirate here in the top left, playing Protoss, against Haymaker in the bottom right, also playing Protoss. As always, I've got the production tab up in the top left corner. PottyPirate building a pylon, building a worker, Haymaker a little bit slow to catch on, but now building a pylon and building a worker, just as you would expect at this early stage of the game. So, Protoss v Protoss, PvP, I'm excited about that. Protoss would be my sort of race of choice if I was playing competitively in 1v1. That's certainly what I would aim to play. So, very standard openings from a Protoss. You would expect to see, obviously, a pylon go down, and you'd expect to see that pretty quickly followed by a gateway. Then commonly, you'd expect to see gas go down when the gateway's about halfway done, or possibly a second gateway if you're planning something, maybe some sort of early pressure. So Haymaker looking very, very standard indeed. This type of opening will allow you to get enough gas. Don't forget to transfer the workers in there once it's finished. This type of opening will allow you to get enough gas up so that when your cybernetics core has finished, you'll have enough to research warp gate and to build a mothership core. So Haymaker's sending a worker across the map to go and have a look around, I guess. And oh, what's this? PottyPirate sends a worker across the map, but parks it here. Doesn't seem to. I'm not sure what he's got in mind for that. Maybe it's going to go in and have a look around in a minute. So I'm a little thrown that neither player at this stage has built a cybernetics core, and that is absolutely what you build next. Haymaker is just doling out pylons left, right, and centre. You know, as a little thing to bear in mind, your buildings as Protoss need to be powered by pylons. There's the cybernetics core coming down for Haymaker. Your buildings need to be powered by pylons. So if you have this type of setup where you have 3 buildings powered by a single pylon, if your opponent comes in and takes out this pylon, you can't use these buildings. So, you know, best to, when you're thinking about where to place your pylons, it's best to have buildings powered by more than one pylon in general. So either spread your buildings around so, you know, each pylon only powers one building, or have several pylons powering a cluster of buildings, however you want to do it. You know, at a kind of higher level, you can start to think about building placement in terms of interfering with drops or interfering with reapers that might come around the back of your mineral line and that sort of thing. But at this stage, nothing much to worry about there. The cybernetics core then done for Haymaker. The cyb core enables a few things. It enables you to build stalkers, adepts, and sentries from your warp gate. These are all ranged units and very good units too. It also allows you to research this, which is warp gate. Warp gate allows you to essentially beam in units next to a pylon from these instead of queuing them up at a gateway, which means ultimately that you can actually churn out units slightly quicker, and you can also beam them in on the other side of the map. If we look at the army supplies, then we can see that PottyPirate does have a supply advantage, and it's all in zealots. So still building another zealot there, but still no sign of any tech whatsoever. Zealots don't cost any gas, and PottyPirate, look, isn't building workers anymore. Well, just as I said, is he about to put some gas down there? Maybe he is, but doesn't have any sign. Oh no, that's not nice, is it? That's not nice. That's a lot of money's worth in queue. You know, if he cancelled some of those, he could get an expand done, couldn't he? He could build another nexus. Okay, it looks like Haymaker intends to put on a bit of pressure. He's building a gateway next to this pylon. If this is turned into a warp gate, that will allow him to beam in units more quickly. He's also teching up at home. Look, he's put down the Twilight Council. That enables a few things. It enables Blink, it enables Zealot Charge to be researched. It also enables higher upgrades from the Forge. So in terms of, you know, how the build is going, while Potty might be ahead in army supply, he is behind in tech. and still not mining gas. In addition to that, Haymaker does have an expand on, so you know I like Haymaker's position here. But these zealots that are coming across the map could be trouble. The problem for Potty is that these don't have charge. So against ranged units like these, if these units are microed a little bit, they will definitely win. If they're not micro, oh no, oh dear. The Haymaker's he's got his units on a move command, so they're not even attacking, and Potty's just having free shots at these. Look, no hull damage done to these stalkers, but all the shields are gone. Now what's he going to do here? He was obviously planning an attack, but now he's changed his mind and he's going home. I'm not sure about that. You know, if you've just seen your opponent move out and you're already that far across the map, maybe just commit. If he's moved out, he doesn't have anything at home, and these zealots would be smashing the base of Haymaker had they continued on their course. You know, and he's still pumping them out at home, so he can defend his ramp pretty well. Now what's going to happen here? These zealots have been allowed to get on top of the stalkers, and they will just smash them. Zealots are remarkably tough, and stalkers just, you know, they don't give out that much damage. So you know, those stalkers are expensive units, and arguably it was the more expensive army. So even though the zealots were larger in number, the stalkers, you know, they cost so much more. At 125.50, they cost, you know, well, kind of double a zealot, you know, because gas is you know, you can't mine gas as quickly as you can mine minerals, so it's kind of worth more. So if PottyPirate walks across the map at this stage, Haymaker's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. You know, 38 to 12 army supply. The army that Haymaker has, where is it? It's this one adept. It's the mothership core. Well, there must be other stuff. Where is it? Am I missing something? I don't know. Perhaps I am. Units. Yeah, so he's got 3 zealots somewhere. Oh, there they are, just standing around. Okay. Yeah, if you know, I think the window is closing. The window is closing for Potty to attack, and if Potty doesn't make something happen soon, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble. He's dropped 2 cyb cores. You don't need 2 ever. And actually, cyb cores are of no use to you without gas. They enable tech, but all tech costs gas. Potty, you're throwing this away. You do have this opportunity to go and kill your opponent right now. You've got enough to do it. If you sit for much longer, the balance is going to tip toward your opponent. He's got better tech than you. You've seen the tech that he's got. You know that he's got tech. What you don't know is that he has this, oh no, that he has this second base up. Unfortunately, a lot of these workers are just following this worker around. They're not actually doing their own mining. They're just, this guy's got, what, six workers following him around. That's a shame. So, you know, that will dent the income, but Haymaker is still way ahead in income, and he's got this gas income as well. You know, Potty, you're not short of minerals, but you don't have any gas whatsoever. And only now does gas come down, and only one of them. It's not enough, Potty. So these zealots are still the stronger force on the map, but look, as the supply catches up, the better tech army will win. You know, stalkers against zealots, zealots without charge, the stalkers in theory can win that, but it takes a bit of micromanagement. The thing to do with your stalkers move much more quickly than zealots, unless the zealots have charge. And charge, of course, this upgrade that is being actually upgraded by Haymaker, costs gas. So without charge, the zealots move faster, and they are ranged units compared to melee units. So you can simply shoot and pull back, shoot and pull back, shoot and pull back, and really you can not lose a stalker and take out a large number of zealots. If you stand still and the zealots get on top of your stalkers, well, that's a different story. but you know, you take advantage of invading range. Now, here the Zealots come. The Mothership Core has got Photon Overcharge ready to go. There are a couple of cannons that will probably finish up in the middle of this battle. Has he got... I thought he had a sentry somewhere, but maybe not. He needs to kick in the Photon Overcharge. This is a great position, an absolutely perfect position. Look, none of these Zealots are actually doing any attacking. Potty, this isn't going to go well for you at all. The time bomb comes down to slow the Zealots as well. The cannons finish up, and actually all of these Zealots are just going to die, and they're not really going to achieve anything significant at all. They're going to take out these two, not even, they've taken out a cannon and maybe one or two of his opponent's units. That was an overwhelming, emphatic win for Haymaker. It was a bad engagement. The Zealots were choked between the two building cannons, so most of them weren't attacking, and now at this stage Potty is well behind. So, you know, for a while he had an opportunity to win this game. He hasn't seized that opportunity. He hasn't taken it. He's got, you know, some of these idle workers need to be built, you know, only 2 in each gas. You desperately need your gas to come up to match your minerals, Potty. You need to be building tech. And at present, this is dangerous. You know, the army supply now is drastically in favour of Haymaker. Haymaker also has Protoss armour upgraded as well. He has Void Rays up. He has sentries, adept. You know, it's a nice mix of units, which against this, we'll simply walk through it. There are no upgrades here for Potty. Things are beginning to look a bit bleak. Back at home for Haymaker, we see a reasonable range of stuff. We can see Immortals building. Immortals are remarkably tough units, do a lot of damage in single shots. They are brilliant against things like Stalkers. They absolutely destroy Stalkers. They are very, very good against Terran Marauders and Siege Tanks. They are very, very good against Zerg Roaches. This looks like the end. These Stalkers are going to come down, and what are they doing? They're just coming down and sort of saying hello. Yeah, maybe kill those. I don't know. Yeah, this army isn't going to be stopped, really, is it? I'm not sure. I think I'd be inclined to kill these 2 Stalkers before they actually kill any of your stuff, but I don't think any of it's going to matter. Oh, I don't know what I've done there. Never did bring up the NIM panel. There we go. Look, EPM. Oh my goodness, Haymaker is spamming the keyboard like fury. It's all good. So yeah, here comes the Immortal into the fray. You know, just have a couple of pops at that now. But this game is essentially over. So well, that was quite a thing. You know, there were certainly, as I mentioned, there were moments in that game when PottyPirate definitely could have won. In the end, it was the superior tech of Haymaker that came through. You could point to a couple of moments that sort of turned it. One of them might have been that engagement down here, where the Zealots were all caught in an unpleasant choke and weren't really engaging, were just being shot. You know, some things to remember. I don't expect in this tournament that people will have absolutely boss micro skills. You know, I was talking about micromanaging your Stalkers so that they stay alive against Zealots. And yes, you can certainly get more value from your units with a little bit of micro. But, you know, at the very simplest level, you've got to make sure your units are shooting during an engagement. You've got to make sure they're attacking. So if they're in each other's way, or if your units seem to be filtered into a choke and you don't like the look of it, don't be afraid to just pull back. You know, don't take a fight that you're going to lose. If you feel it isn't going well, run away. You know, there's no requirement for you, having engaged, to stay and fight to the death. You know, if you engage and it starts to go badly for you and you think, I'm not going to win this, well, run. You know, don't stay and throw away those units. Try and keep your units alive as much as possible. Yeah, if you do have an engagement where it's Stalkers against Zealots, you know, simple things that you can do. If the Zealots are attacking and some of your front Stalkers are injured, just grab them one at a time and pull them back. The Zealots, you know, the AI that controls the way they attack, they will preferentially attack things that are attacking them. So, you know, if there were some Zealots here attacking these Stalkers, these weakened ones, if I grab this and tell it to move to here, it stops shooting the zealots, so they will ultimately stop attacking it. So this one gets to live and fight another day, and you keep it alive. The other bonus with things like that, you know, if I grab these 3 front ones and pull them back, they tend to get in the way as well. They get in the way of melee units. They get in the way of the zealots. The zealots are trying to get past them to hit the stalkers that are still shooting them, and ultimately that buys you some time as well. You know, so there's some fairly basic things that you can do that don't require, you know, crazy mouse skills or anything like that, that can just kind of help you get value out of your units. But I would say at the basic level, the key thing to remember is if you're not winning an engagement, run. Just get out of there. Don't press it. Don't continue to push the issue if you're not winning. Okay, so GG.